Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
We want to thank our sponsor, Frost Giants Games, for making this show possible. Frost Giants Games is Wisconsin's game store of choice for board games, Magic the Gathering, and other card games. Check them out at www.frostgiantgames.com. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dalton here from TCG Buzz, back at it again with Jacob.
Eventually, he's going to break that chair.
Nah. But today, we're bringing you something a little bit different. It might have been a little bit longer than we suspected before this video would be recorded and put out there. But we're going to kind of give our review on Dragoborne and what we kind of think of it after playing with it.
We did play a full match on the channel already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Link in the description, probably. Yeah.
Link in the description. Check it out.
If we remember.
No, it will be there. Trust me.
It'll be
there.
Okay.
It will be there.
So we're talking about Dragoborne Rise to Supremacy. If you don't know, that's Bushiroad's newest card game, designed in part by Mike Eliot, who's quite well known for designing card games. Particularly, he did a lot involving a particular card game you might have heard of called Magic the Gathering. Ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that game.
Pretty niche.
It's pretty niche, basic.
So we played that on the channel, and that was really our first time playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It was our second match ever. Our first one was 10 minutes before we started recording.
And it was about 10 minutes, too. No, I'm joking.
And that actually has been the last time we played it, right?
Yeah, mainly because we don't have the demo decks anymore. We had to return them. But it's still going to be a while before the actual game's officially released. So, I don't know. First impression-wise, it seems all right. A little slower than I like, especially since I'm heavy Buddyfight, Yu-Gi-Oh! Very fast-paced games. They don't really take a lot of time. It can be over in 2 turns. Stuff happens.
It's weird because we're kind of reviewing it, right? That's what's going to be in the title of this video. It's going to be a review, but it's also really not a review because we're doing this way before the game comes out, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a preview, review, look ahead, look back.
So I guess,
whatever.
Yeah, the full disclaimer here is that things will certainly change as the game evolves.
Exactly.
This is us reviewing as of our experiences so far.
So
you mentioned it feels kind of slow.
It does feel a little slow, but that's kind of normal for newer games. They always tend to be a little bit slower just because everyone's still trying to learn the rules or trying to make sure everything flows the right way.
Right. And remembering your turn order, plus generally the card abilities aren't as, impressive towards the beginning of a game's life.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
but it is a very simple for all the skills. So you'll have that down relatively fast compared to everything else. But that's the whole flow of the game is going to be a little bit slower.
Look at Buddyfight, man. A 5-2-1 vanilla in Buddyfight was meta in the very beginning.
I'll make it meta again.
Oh, I'm scared.
Mm-hmm. You better be.
I guess we should split this into categories.
Categories? Yeah.
Categories. Yeah. I'll pick a category. You pick a category. How about that? I want to start with the art. Why?
Damn it, that was my category.
Oh. I just want to start with the art because it's different than what Bushiroad has done before.
It is, but it's also more Americanized as well. So
very Western art.
That's part of the reason why I feel it
we've seen some Western art before, particularly in Vanguard, but it's not that common.
Yeah, it's not that common, but
it has been done. But I also like how there are a lot of cards with. I'm surprised because they're very deep, dark colors on pretty much all the cards, even the light, happy, good guys. Lots of dark colors in the card art, in the card border. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air for me.
That's Pine Sol, baby.
Why?
I don't know. You said fresh air. I felt Pine Sol. Yeah, it all worked out.
I want to say it reminds me of Magic in the card art, but there's something inherently different for me. And I can't quite pinpoint on what it is. I think part of it's, the fact that the actual art on the card is a lot bigger than what you get in Magic, so there's a lot more detail.
I would almost put it around Duel Masters Kaijudo style art, except
that won't be the first time those card games are mentioned in this review.
But more down a happy center of the both, because Duel Masters was definitely a little bit more darker in colors, even compared to Dragoborne. And then Kaijudo's is a lot brighter, so kind of like a happy medium in between the two.
Is it weird that with some of the lighter, happier cards they've recently revealed through Card of the Days and stuff, do you know what it reminds me of? And this isn't something I planned to say. This was totally like I just thought of this while you were talking. It reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft. I don't know why. It does. So it's like wow. Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft, Duel Masters art.
Duel Masters.
But, I mean, we only used some basic decks, but every time I looked at a new card, I'm like, oh, that's nice art.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of Western art. I mean, it's nice, but...
Oh, what else is new?
It is refreshing. You agree?
I don't know. Art's art. Can't be a critic for everything.
True. Okay, any other categories?
Any other categories?
What's next?
Well, let's go keywords, I guess. So like the double... Was it Double Strike? No, I'm getting this confused with Dragon Ball.
That'll come later, guys.
I know that's Dragon Ball now.
Spoilers.
But like a lot of the keywords are very similar to Magic's. Obviously, you can see where the Magic influence is coming in with the game. I can't remember any of them at the moment. I don't know why, but yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It has actually been a little while since we last played it, so oops. Well, what about the fort mechanic?
You mean shields?
Shields, yes. But slightly different because there is a little more strategy with positioning. Because certain units will only be able to block certain forts, shields,
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. The only difference is the fact that your creatures are blocking your shields, where Duel Masters in Kaijudo, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've played those too. That wasn't
crime.
That's not necessarily the case, because you can attack the player, but the player has to decide to block that attack.
More like how Magic does it. Because that's how Magic...
Yeah. More like Magic based, but that's the only difference I see in it.
The one thing sorry to interrupt you, but because I'm going to ambush you with this one. The one thing I was totally surprised by, I didn't expect the way it would play, was ambush cards. They
kind of played the way they're supposed to, I guess. They ambush.
I'm surprised at how important they were, though, I guess.
Yeah, they do come in clutch,
They're really powerful, really good cards, especially the spell-based ones.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember that.
Really nice, though. I like the mechanic. It's one of my favorite parts of the game, actually. It reminds me, kind of funnily, more of like setting a trap card from Yu-Gi-Oh! Than any other card game's mechanics.
I was going to say ambush from Oni's.
I know the connection is there.
Just saying, but I feel like it's a little bit more fair with their ambush at this point in time, since you can only set one in front of each fort versus
a bunch.
Oh, I'm just gonna stack this card souls, ambush everything in a certain order because I can, yada yada yada. But in that aspect, I feel like it's very balanced, but it can always be evolved, always be changed. Something can definitely be done to improve the ambush. Just keep giving me that spell. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for.
Yes. So, what's next?
What's next? Isn't it your turn to pick?
Is it?
Yeah, because those were key words.
I guess you're right. Dice.
The dice. The dice.
So from the beginning, they really were saying, it's not a totally luck-based game, right? It's about strategy and working with what you get.
Yeah.
It's true to an extent. I found when I rolled my dice and I got a 3, a 1, and a 6, I really had to think about priorities there, whether I use them for defense or whether I use them and go for offense by equipping them to my monsters. I forget what the thing is called to do that.
Now I'm forgetting. Great.
But I'm really impressed because you get 3, right? And you get that one chance to roll them. There are some ways to manipulate your dice numbers. But for the most part, what you roll is what you get. A big bulk of the game is deciding how to best work with that.
Very true, but it does seem a little... You roll a 6, you're going to want that as defense. You roll a 1, all right, I'm going to put that on a creature to give them +1/+1 and kind of go to town. Or I'm like, well, this is just a poopy roll, so I got to...
Yeah.
Why do I have to censor myself, man?
I know. If you recall our match, towards the end, I was rolling 6s left and right? And that really helped me wall out against you.
But didn't I still win? I don't remember. It's been a while.
I think I won. You won the match we didn't record. I won the one we did record. I'm pretty sure of that. Christian can correct us with his magical editing skills.
Or just let us know down in the comments section.
Yeah, true. I think the dice overall, really solid mechanic, and I can tell, they wanted to do what they could to make sure it's not just a luck-based dice game, because those are a dime a dozen. If you want a dice-based game, you can find a ton that are just luck. That being said, I'm certain that as the game evolves, if we get more than 5 sets, shut up. There will be more ways to manipulate those dice roll. Particularly, one of the big things they advertised with the game was, hey, if you get a low number, that's actually a really good thing sometimes because of your spells. And there are certain spells they've shown off that will be in the first booster set that really do show that.
Yes.
But the ones we had, not so much.
They both had their own pluses and minuses, the 1 through 3, do this, do that, 4 through 6, draw 1 card, and then do this on top of that. It seems like they have the right idea for it, and I wonder if they're going to allow normal sized dice that are in the same color, just because it does seem like the dice they give you might
tiny.
be a little, not tiny, I don't mind that fact.
Okay.
But a little rigged because of that dragon one.
Right, because
that does change.
Maybe that's
the dynamic.
point, though.
Maybe
it's part of the design.
We'll find out once they finally come out and be like, yeah, no, you can't use other cards, so forth and so on. Or other dice.
I think the standard plastic or paper playmat they came with was pretty awkward. You and I had trouble filming because of our mana, right?
Yeah, because there's not necessarily a real spot for it, but there's a spot for it because it's like right below your what was it? Your banners.
Yes,
there we go. Your banners. But if you really think about it, your banners are still part of your mana. So I guess technically that's still your mana zone, but your mana just kind of floats downwards. So maybe we'll make a custom playmat,
Yeah.
Make it work. Who knows?
All right, what's next?
What's next? All right, well, covered keywords, dice, artwork, colors.
Colors?
Colors.
I kind of figured that's where you'd go. So this is also kind of hard to speak with because neither one of us have got to try out blue or black.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
But from the yellow, red, and green, it's kind of hard to say just because it's been so long. But
and we're limited on just using introductory decks at this.
that don't mean nothing. But it does seem like red still has that aggro, the basic for you. But it does look like green's more of like your typical blue. It kind of seemed like a little bit more control-ish vibe to
A little,
it.
and I noticed the ambush cards were, the monsters with ambush were really good from green.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hence the controlling aspect of the game. And then yellow was what is yellow closely
there were some stat boosts and stuff like that, I guess.
I guess
But also lots of vanillas. So
Yeah,
for us,
so. Yeah, yellow was kind of still
there was a
kind
lot of
hard
good
to
spells
say.
for yellow, though.
Yeah, there was a lot of good spells. A lot more. Oh, this deals with your dice. This
So
deals with this.
black plays like you ever play black in Magic or what is it in Duel Masters Swamp?
Darkness.
Dark.
Oh, no,
No, it's just dark.
it's darkness. It's darkness. Yeah, it's darkness. It's darkness.
So it plays exactly the same as those. Lots of destruction, a lot of scary skills.
Oh, you never would have guessed that one.
I know. Blue is really interesting.
Blue, I feels like the green, like it's supposed to be more mana ramp instead of
One of the big mechanics we've seen with some cards coming out later is the fact that blue, and this might not be exclusive to blue, so I apologize, but at this time, blue has a lot of mechanics that allow you to manipulate your dice rolls and change them by maybe adding a number to them or subtracting a number from those dice. That's really cool.
Dice
So blue is
manipulation.
very technical,
Well, yeah, it might still be control based because that is a controlling factor, but maybe you're gonna have your more dice controlling, and then you're gonna have your ambush controlling for green and blue. That might be where it's trying to go with that, but it doesn't seem like there's too much mana increase. I think there was a green spell or it was yellow in the demo decks that actually did increase your mana by 1, but it doesn't really look like you're going to be too worried about that. It looks like you're going to want to get to like 5, 6, and then you're like, all right, I'm set. I don't need to worry about anything else. But that can always change. It can always change. They can always all of a sudden be like, oh, this deck wants to have 20 mana just to keep throwing out these big pieces and just going to town on your opponent. But we still have a while before the game's actually out and before hopefully the Magic community gets their hands on it.
Yeah.
And actually,
this is a discussion
throw
you and I
something.
had the day we did that match. Afterwards, we went out for lunch, and you and I discussed it, saying, hey, do you think the Magic community will latch on to this?
I hope so, just to kind of mingle, have like a mingling aspects. But after Force of Will, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to
I
say.
think Force of Will has scared a lot of Magic players away from ever trying a new card game. That being said, if they're going to try one, Dragoborne is a great, starting point. And it can be their gateway drug into the sweet, sweet Bushiroad goodness.
I'll see you in Buddyfight eventually.
What would you say is the main theme of Dragoborne as a game?
Forever War. That's what I get off of it, especially from watching the Buddyfight anime and seeing its little commercial for it. It just seems like it's war, a little bit more war, and a little pinch of war.
And it's not like, oh, you're a spirit on the planet Cray doing this, and you're represented by these creatures, or Buddyfight, where it's whatever the heck Buddyfight is.
You're just fighting with your buddy. Yeah.
You're just having fun with your friends. This is real war, man.
Like, who knows? Maybe this will replace our wars. That will never happen. It'd be nice, but I don't think that will ever happen.
The one big thing I got from the game, like overall, as we were playing it, and afterwards, after reflected. And probably the thing I like most about it is how much of it was risk versus reward.
Well,
There were so many times I had to choose between going all out with offense or defense. And unlike so many other card games, I didn't know what the right answer was. And it's not because of inexperience with the game. It's because there might not have been a right answer.
like, there's 50 right answers and no wrong answers type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it also does feel like the game's a very wallish type deal. Like,
Oh, yeah, you wall, you win. At least
oh,
at
well,
this point.
well, with,
Unless you're fighting black.
with those two demo decks, since they were the same demo deck, yes, because that's what I think kind of happened in the recorded match. Is kind of like
I got
it wasn't intentional. It just kind of happened that way. It's like, well, this is the best strategy to do it. It's just to wall and just go from there. Versus like Buddyfight, where it's like, oh, I see you have monsters. It'd be a shame if I say, aha, I don't care.
Yes. I that's something I liked. It was kind of refreshing playing a game where, there isn't necessarily one right answer to every situation.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of, honestly, really tough choices to make when you're playing Dragoborne.
I guess, yeah.
Unlike Buddyfight or Vanguard.
Whoa, Buddyfight can give you some tough predictions.
No, hang on.
Just saying.
This was a separate point, related but separate. You do have a limit to the number of cards you can use in a turn because of your mana.
Yes, that's true.
So
true.
you really have to prioritize. Whereas in Buddyfight, I can fling monsters out on the field, kill them, call new things if I want to. I do that all the time with my Dragon's Y deck. Drago. No, Dragoborne, stop it. You're confusing me.
Well, I would say more like Vanguard's the complete opposite, because Buddyfight still has that limitation of, well, if you're at 1 life, you can't pay 1 life to activate this card's skill because you can't kill yourself, or, oh, look, you have no gauge. Now you can't call anything or activate skills, or you have no hand. You can't discard to do something. So it does, Buddyfight still has that implication of you are limited to a certain amount, but there are cards that kind of make it too infinite, almost. Mm-hmm. Not the actual cards that if you link attack with your item, you have infinite power and infinite crit, and your opponent can't nullify, yada, yada, yada. But more like the new bots, or is it ball, that's going to be coming out in the Adventurers versus Demon Lords that gains you a gauge and a life, and then gets double attack. Like, if Bushi would have done something wrong with that, that would have been one of the most broken.
Ball, and I think it's actually in Chaos Control Crisis.
It might be, but like, it could have been the most broken combo if they would have just said, restand this card, because it was with the link attack. You just use OG Dragon Force with that. You're just sitting there, just gaining gauge and gaining life, just sitting. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna link
What
attack.
A tangent.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty good at those. Pretty good. But like,
I've got so many little thoughts in this game that I want to get across, but that's just it. They're all little things, in general, it's a solidly built game, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait, was there a life mechanic?
No, you just got your forts.
All right. What game am I thinking that has life?
Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super?
That might be. That's what it is. I got 2 card games on the mind.
So
stay tuned for Dragon Ball
it's been
Super.
Kind of weird for Dalton and I, because right when, like, the day before we got our demo decks to try out, we both started really getting interested in Dragon Ball Super.
Mm-hmm.
So for a little while there, the mechanics were merging as we were learning both of them. I guess next question we should answer: are you going to play this game? Are you going to play Dragoborne?
I'm still not sold. Like, mainly because of the whole luck and logic epidemic that happened.
And we both got burned by that, but you got burned much harder than I did.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
he bought box after box.
I don't know about that. But I'm still a little hesitant, just because, like, it is gonna be a slower game in general. Like, it will not be to the pace of Buddyfight
Right,
being
I mean,
Bushi's fastest game.
Essentially, you have 6 life.
Yes. Well, no.
There's
6. Yeah,
your
6.
entire goal is just protect those life at all costs. So there will be a lot of stalling, especially in the early days of the game.
And probably later days in the game, but I just don't want to start investing into the game and then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we're just going to go Japanese only, or, yeah, we're just going to stop.
Except there is no Japanese version.
This is true, but they can pull some shenanigans and...
It's Bushiroad. If anyone can screw it up, they can.
Oh, yeah. But it still has a lot of promise to it. I hope that they release some more information about it, some more things that will truly get me 100% behind the game.
Like some...
I'm still maybe at 75%. Like, I'll probably play it casually, kind of like Magic type ordeal, but Dragon Ball Super.
I think playing it casually, first of all, is a great idea, because I don't see this as a game I'd want to play every single day.
Well, I wouldn't say something, because we never play Buddyfight every single day as much as we want to.
Right.
But I don't see its competitive scene being that strong that fast. No. I see it slowly building. There might be obviously the people who wake up, check Dragoborne's website, check what's Buddy Spoiler's sister's site?
Drago Oracle.
Drago Oracle.
Drago Oracle. I don't know.
It's Drago. It has to be Drago. Do it that way and just kind of like they basically have everything set down and just can go to town on it like that. But I kind of lost where we were going, where I started from this. So
my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
My thoughts. I've thoroughly decided I do want to play this game, but I don't want to play it now. What I've decided is I want to get into it after it's developed a little more. I want to wait till maybe booster set 3 or 4, once there's a decent sized community.
See if it actually died off before it gets started type deal. Yep.
Because I'm always one of those guys pushing the card games and getting new people in. I'm tired of that. I need a break, and I can't do it for yet another card game, especially since at the same time I'm going to be an ambassador for Dragon Ball Super. Because seriously, that gameplay is good. I know we've mentioned it too many times. Sorry.
Stay tuned. It will be coming to the channel soon.
It's hard to get into a new card game when it starts for a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a power creep, which a lot of times will make many of your old cards worthless within just a couple sets, right?
That's very true.
And there's, the fact that they're still experimenting, getting things going, and, there won't be too many people to play with in the beginning.
That's always the case, but...
I might pick up one of the starter decks right when they come out, but not buy anything from Booster Set 1 just to have something to practice a little. And then wait a couple sets and see what happens.
Yeah. Or get Booster Set 1 and just trade with people.
Or just keep them sealed in your closet for 10 years.
Okay, don't pull no magic now.
Do you think Bushiroad's done a good job with this? With the marketing of the pre-release marketing of the game? What do they do well, and what could they do better on?
First off, it's Bushi. They can always do better.
Yes. I have to say, even if it was kind of hard for us personally to get a hold of them, releasing these decks much earlier than the rest of the card game comes out is really cool.
Yes.
I don't want to mention it again. Dragon Ball Super's done it better because they're actually working with creators and whatnot and stores. They're doing some of that with Dragoborne, but
then again, Dragon Ball in general is just bigger.
Yes.
So there's obviously going to be there's already channels for Dragon Ball itself. And then
one compliment I do think we should give Dragoborne. How did we learn how to play? How did we learn how to play Dragoborne?
I forget.
Really?
I forget.
We watched their Dragoborne's own channel's YouTube tutorials on how to play. And they have it's like a 7-part series taught by Mike Eliot and one of the head game designers. I apologize, don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
All I remember is watching videos for Dragon Ball Super.
And they went through each and every part of the game because it's a decently complex game.
You know what they should have done with Luck and Logic? Cough.
Cough.
Come on. Well, come on now.
I think for the most part they've learned from the mistake that was Luck and Logic. In a lot of ways, I think there are still some things they could. What's something they could do that they haven't done?
AR system. That's something they haven't done. I gave you something
realistic.
All right, VR system. How about that?
Sending us stuff?
Well, can't get greedy now.
I know.
It'd be nice, yes, but we're probably not big enough for them yet. We have to grow a little bit more. And I'm talking as people, not as a channel.
Okay.
Maybe as a channel too, but as people, I think we need to grow a little bit more. As a channel, we need to grow a little bit more. I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, just kind of being a little bit more interactive with their community in general might help as well, you know.
For sure.
Like some of the bigger name channels out there besides us, you know, we obviously know you don't always come to us for everything.
They have
Makes sense.
An advantage with Dragoborne that the community in part came in built in, because a lot of us, just because it's a new Bushiroad card game, started supporting it in some ways. You know, you and I covered it, right? The people from Buddy Spoiler started Drago Oracle. I'm sorry.
It's Drago Oracle.
Sure it's Drago.
Because it's Dragoborne, Drago
Right.
Oracle.
And, you know, there are several different Facebook communities already for the game before it's come out. Many of them created by members of the Buddyfight community.
/Vanguard.
Vanguard community, yeah.
All these, yeah.
They should be using that to their strength.
They should be, like...
have a representative who's a part of those communities on Facebook to talk directly to fans. Don't rely on, members of these communities, these people who took it upon themselves. Help us, you know. Go
Help
into
us,
the communities,
help you.
talk about your game. They're doing a pretty good job at working with vendors, working with stores, right?
Yeah.
One of our local stores, the one who we've worked with many times, Frost Giant.
Yes.
The owner, he's a Magic guy through and through. That's his thing, right?
Yep.
And he's like, hey, what do you guys think about that new card game Dragoborne? Because he heard about it through vendors or through Bushiroad themselves. We didn't have to go and say, hey, we like this new card game. Can you have it in stock for us?
Like that, yeah.
Which we've had to in the past. We had to do that with Luck and Logic, right?
Yeah, we kind of had to do that with Luck and Logic.
Additionally, there are other people locally who have never heard of a Bushiroad card game that I know that are like, what's this Dragoborne thing, Jacob? So the word is getting out about the game.
Yes, that's a good sign. It shows they're doing something right.
You guys should let us know what you think they can improve on.
They just need to do a better job with all their card games, actually. Like,
there's always room for improvement.
There's always room for improvement. But I think we've been rambling on for long enough. Yeah. Any closing thoughts at all, Jacob?
Just that I really like how the game was designed, you know. Comparing it to the last Bushiroad game, Luck and Logic. Sorry to beat a dead horse. Literally a dead horse. Dead, because the game's dead. When I played Luck and Logic for the first few times, I felt it was a card game mechanically that was just thrown together to sell cards. When I played Dragoborne for the first time, I felt the amount of thought and time that was put into designing the game before a single card was printed. It reminds me of their other games, from Bushiroad and from other companies. You know, it reminds me in that way of Yu-Gi-Oh, of Duel Masters, of Buddyfight, where the game was quite intuitive. You?
Well, Dragon Ball Super is a wait, nope.
Yep, wrong one. The other card game with Drago in its name that is coming out this summer.
Yeah, Dragoborne, you still got a little bit more to work with me to completely sell me, but you're on the right path. That's all I gotta say. Just get a little bit more involved, Bushi, with your community. We're here for you. We'd love to support you. Just give us a little love back. That's all we ask for. A little love. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say for it. Make sure to check out the shop. Link in the description.
Yeah. And let us know. More than probably any topic we've ever discussed, I want other people's input. Right? I want to hear what other people think of the game. The ones who've played it already at different expos or events. If they liked it, the people who haven't played it yet and maybe have only watched a YouTube video or two, maybe hours, what they think of the game, if they're going to play it. I want all those opinions, even the really weird little things, the little thoughts, like, oh, I really like
the fact that we go on random tangents all the time.
Yeah,
we need to know. Hopefully we can stop that. Maybe we'll start scripting all of this. Instead of just going in.
Oh, I cannot imagine you on a script.
What's a script?
Yeah, exactly. But let us know literally anything on your thoughts about Dragonborn in the comments below. And subscribe.
And hit that bell to get them notifications, though. And leave a like. Until next time, y'all. Stay classy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.